Power Rankings time, presented by our friends at Toyota. And Chris, this is what happens when you're around somebody all the time and you hear them say all the time, they're the best football team in the NFL.
You're telling me I infiltrated your brain a little bit? And
Yes.
You swayed you, so you could write like PFT/Chris Sims power rankings on there a little?
I can hear you in my brain doing Phil Simms' voice or others that ultimately come back to Phil Simms. But the Eagles are the best team in the NFL. Devin and I were talking yesterday about how low Nick Sirianni is in the odds for Coach of the Year, even though he's coaching the best team in football, which might say something about Sirianni. I don't know. But the Eagles, number 1, Bills up from 3, Chiefs and Vikings hold steady. I felt bad dropping the Lions all the way to number 5, but what was I going to do? Because the Bills had to come up after beating the Lions, so they jumped the Chiefs and the Vikings. I can't drop the Chiefs and Vikings. I mean, the Chiefs finally win by more than one score. The Vikings have a 30-12 victory that wasn't, well, it was close for a while, but by the end it felt like a complete and total whitewash.
Right.
I wasn't going to drop them. So Lions, you lose, and you get what happens with it. You got a lot of great teams that are clustered at the top. If you fall off the top of the mountain, you don't just tumble to the first plateau. You're going to go down a couple levels.
I listen, I don't think you're crazy there. I don't. I mean, it's certainly not.
And you throw in the injuries.
That's what I was just about to say. The state of their team and where they are, they're not exactly the same football team as 5 weeks ago. So it is a little different. And I know they still have one of the best records in football, but yeah, it's been like not the best high-level play, let alone how can you not be concerned with what you saw on the defensive side of the ball and all that. They're going to have to reevaluate and adjust and I think maybe play a little bit different style of football. And I don't know what that's going to be. I'm going to be interested to see it. Is it going to be just attack on offense and try to outscore everybody, or do they go, hey, let's maybe dial it back a little bit and try to control the clock and run the ball and wear on people? They're good enough to do it either way on the offensive side of the ball. But I don't think you're crazy there. I don't know if I would have dropped them below the Vikings, but I don't think you're crazy. Well, how about the next one? Packers.
Well, hang on.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Before we continue, I think this is a good spot to share with you an epic piece of sound that illustrates the machinations of Dan Campbell's brain. And look, we're all wired to adjust to change circumstances. You can either go hide under the bed or you can come up with a way to embrace adversity. Here's Dan Campbell's effort to embrace the adversity flowing from losing their first game since week 2 and losing more and more of their key players down the stretch. Here he is from 97-1 The Ticket yesterday in Detroit.
And look, I don't, you know what happens is, you win 11 in a row, and you lose, and then the sky falls. And I hate to say it, but we're not going to be able to win 11 in a row again for the rest of this season. We're just not going to be able to do it. And what happens is you get used to eating filet, and I'm talking to all of us, and everything's good. Life's good, but you forgot what it was like when you had nothing and you ate your molded bread, and it was just fine, and it gave you everything you needed. And sometimes you got to get punched in the mouth and remember what it used to be like to really appreciate where you are, and we'll do that. And so we got a bad taste in our mouth. We got kicked around the other day. We lost a few guys, and you know what? It's exactly what we needed. This is exactly what we needed. So we're going to bounce back. We're going to respond. We got guys that are about to have an unbelievable opportunity here, and we will play the game any way needed to win. We still got a good offense. We got plenty of defensive players. I can go rattle them off right now. We're going to put the best 11 on the field. We're going to freaking cut it loose. We're going to play with our special teams, and I don't give a if we got to win by 1 point for the rest of the year. That's what we're going to do. And I'm going to be happy about it. We come out of the game with 50 yards of total offense and we win by 1, you're going to see smiles on my face, I promise you. All right? If it's the other way defensively, we give up 700 yards and we win by 1 point, you're going to see a smile from my ear to ear. All right? I can promise you. So we're going to find a way and we're going to get it done.
You got to love Dan Campbell. I can listen to him all day. And that's the energy he's going to bring into the locker room. That's where coaching matters. At a time where everyone is going to be tempted to think, you know what, maybe it wasn't our destiny this year. You know what, we've had too many injuries to come back from. You know what, I'm just not feeling it. Dan Campbell is going to make you feel it, or he's going to force feed you a bleeping molded sandwich.
Yeah, he is. And that's, he sounded like a guy that was like, hey, we're going to do whatever we got to do to win. And it just not, maybe they won't be just in attack mode like they've always been, right? Where it's just been, we have no conscience, we're aggressive, we attack. And that's been the beauty of them. They put great pressure on you that way. Well, maybe they'll have to be a little bit more careful that way with the defense it is right now. And he's right in a lot of ways too. Sometimes when you're that good of a football team and you've been winning and it's been cozy and comfy and, you do forget about what it's like to lose, and you maybe do lose sight of a few little details because you're just like, wait, we're winning, we're doing what we need to do. This kind of makes you hunker down and go back and dissect some of those things and worry about the little details that help you win a football game. It was the first game all year that they got physically whooped. And I think that's what's scary to a guy like me, and especially the way their defense looked, right? Where, hey, their O-line played not a good game. They didn't protect well with Jared Goff. They never really got to get into the running game. And then defensively, and this is why the Bills are different and number 2 on your rankings, the Bills are a different offense than any other time in Josh Allen's career. And this is why they're a different team this year. This is why they can go to the Super Bowl. Is because they have different avenues on that side of the ball now with Josh Allen, where he doesn't just have to do it all magically. They got some guys that can help him out and a system that helps him out too, and that's where they're a different team.
Hey, they could be the first team ever to have 9 straight games with 30 or more points scored.
That's insane.
And if that doesn't get Joe Brady a whole weekend of interviews.
Yeah,
whenever
coming.
that window is that
Right.
they let them talk to them preliminarily during the bye week if they get it or whenever it may be. This is one of the realities of having a great offense with a defensive head coach. The offensive coordinator is not going to be there much longer. And Brady, who got the job on an interim basis last year when they fired Ken Dorsey, everything changed then. They were good down the stretch. They got to the round of 8. They lost to the Chiefs narrowly. And now this year, they are clicking on all cylinders like we've never seen before. And if they get to, and they're playing the Patriots this weekend, so chances are we're going to see 30 points scored, but we'll see how that plays out. All right. You had a comment about the Packers who are after the Lions. I'll let you go forward with that.
Well, I was just going to ask you, thought there, the Packers and the Ravens. That's a tight one there. I mean, I just was curious if you thought about having the Ravens in front of the Packers or what your thought was there.
Well, the Packers were already in front of the Ravens, and look, I mean, the Ravens have 5 losses. The Ravens have this weird thing where every once in a while they just blow a game that they shouldn't. They're an elite team, but they blow too many games they shouldn't. They should not have 5 losses. They are better than a 5-loss team, and they are higher on the list than the Steelers who don't have 5 losses. And Steelers fans are mad because they're like, we beat the Ravens. How dare you? We beat the Ravens. Well, good luck in Baltimore this weekend. Get back to me after this weekend if you go to Baltimore and beat the Ravens. But the Ravens are in that category of potential Super Bowl contender, but so are the Packers, and the Packers have 4 losses.
Yep. Okay, I hear you there, and you're right. That sounds like you don't expect your favorite team, the Steelers, to win and
second.
In Baltimore.
They'll be my favorite if Kirk Cousins is playing.
You're funny. All right, last one I want to really here's the one spot I was definitely disappointed in you. The Texans over the Rams. That was one where I looked at and went, what? The Rams have won 7 out of the last 9. The Texans haven't looked good in 9 weeks. And you put them ahead of them. And that would be the only one. Okay, good. Good for you for saying true. All right.
Well, because, look, part of it is, and it's the old school AP and UPI football.
Yeah, I hear you.
I've got that in my brain where it never made sense, but like as long as you win, you hold your spot. Yep. You don't get jumped until you lose. That's part of this very detailed algorithm that I've constructed each and every week. And it's like, okay, they didn't lose. They hold their spot. They didn't lose. But you're right. The Rams are better than the Texans right now. And we'll see the you know what I was trying to build up the Texans a little bit because we got them on.
We got them on football. Yeah, we got them. I got it.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.